Welcome back to Learn BC. You're here with Jared and we're in Order to Cash, the series that's all about sales, taking orders all the way through to money in the bank. We're up to SOP-O2C-07, Drop Shipments, and this one's flipping cool. I love Drop Shipments. So before we get into this, please understand you need to pick up the context. What's the trigger, the preconditions, and the principles? What's the procedure? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. And if it goes wrong, it's an exception. How do we handle it? And post conditions, what's the dream? Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and email us at how@learnbc.today. Build the community by commenting on the videos. It helps other users. Let's get into this. Here we are in Drop Shipments in Business Central, SOP-O2C-07. What are the things that we're going to talk about today? Well, 1, marking the line for dropship, there's a boolean. 2, creating the purchase order. 3, linking the sales order to the purchase order, which is all automated now, super cool. 4 is receiving and invoicing. All right, so the procedure is triggered when a customer orders an item that you do not hold in inventory and you want your vendor to ship it directly to the customer. We call this a drop ship. This drop ship is where you want to tell your supplier, ship it to my customer as if you're me. It just saves the time and the money. You're saving freight, them freighting it to you, you freight to the customer. It's saving touch points, it's saving days, and it's saving money. So there's a couple of savings that you could pass on to your customer. So what are the key principles? There's no physical inventory. Okay, drop shipments bypass the physical warehouse. The inventory is received and shipped simultaneously in the system. The link is mandatory between the sales order and the purchase order. And again, I'll show you how that's automated, but it's mandatory. Okay. And the third thing here is make sure your PO, as you get the invoice from the supplier, because they've shipped, you update your purchase order with the correct pricing before you post it. What are the steps? So the steps are on the sales order, you check the drop shipment boolean. We create a purchase order. I'll show you how to do that. On the PO, you got to make sure in the ship to you've got the customer's address. User actions, drop shipment, get sales order. Well, that's one way to do it. I'll show you that way, and then I'm going to show you the quick way Microsoft's now created. And when the vendor ships, receive the purchase order. So this automatically ships the sales order, which is pretty cool. So you receive the PO, and it ships the order for the customer. Well, let's go take a look in Business Central. I'm going to show you how this works. Here we are in Business Central. We're going to go into sales orders. I'm going to create a new sales order for Additum. All right, I've got a purchase order number. I'm happy with my date, but I'm going to do that requested delivery date of the 21st again, just to show you. I'm going to set the shipment date of the 19th. Okay. And I'm going to set a custom address here for this particular order. There's no prepayments, and we're ready to start adding an item. So I'm going to add an item here of 5 units, and there's these extra fields that I've dropped in through going to the COGS, personalize. On personalize, I've added the fields in, and I click in the lines, and I've added drop shipment, special order, and purchase code. So purchasing code selected drop ship just turns the boolean on. Okay. And at this stage, we have ourselves, we've got a few errors here. We've got credit limit exceeded, and sales order agent. That's fine. Let's just turn that off. And so the traditional way that you would treat this, this order is you would actually take this sales order, right? And you would go into another window. So I would go into my purchase orders, and in my purchase orders, I would load Fabricum, my first supplier. I'd go down to my customer, okay, and I'd select my customer's address, and you would select Additum just here, okay. Now the other thing that we would do is we'd go functions, drop shipment, get sales orders. And our sales order number is 1020, and I can click that. And as I click that, it loads in here the 5 desks that we were going to turn around and use beforehand. And it creates a link between them here with the drop shipment. as you can see, the documents are now linked, and that's given me now a link between them that I could issue that purchase order, and the address to ship it to is now outlined as the customer's address on the purchase order. So bill to is us, ship to customer's address. Well, let's delete this and I'll show you the new way from Microsoft that we do it. It's as of version 28 of Business Central. We don't have to go create a separate purchase order now. All we do is we go Actions, Functions, Create, Purchase Order. This loads up here for us. I can see my 5 desks. I need 5 from the Graphic Design Institute. I press OK. It's going to update the dimensions, which is fine. I hit yes, and my purchase order is created automatically for me, just like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Now I need to, I've got an invoice from the supplier. Okay. And at this stage, we're going to preview posting this. And it posts fine. There's no posting problem. But for example, I may receive this, and as I receive this, let's go scroll over and have a look. I can see that I've received a quantity of 5. If I go back to my sales orders in my other tab here, on the line here, the related sales order has now received, quantity shipped has now shipped, and they're related to each other. And you'll notice that that same document is on both documents, the purchase order and the sales order. So that's pretty cool. Now that it's been received on the purchase order, I can post that and invoice it, and it's done. We've got our bill from the supplier. Okay, and that's closed out. But the sales order, I now have the ability to invoice the customer. So I can say ship an invoice or just invoice because it's already shipped. And as I set that, off it goes, and that's just invoiced straight to the customer. That transaction did not touch our subledger at any particular time. It bypassed it, which is very, very cool. So what could go wrong with this transaction? You cannot invoice the sales order until the purchase order has been received. So you could receive and invoice the purchase order, or you just receive it, but you need to do the purchase order first before you do the sales document. Okay, the system will block the sales invoice posting to ensure costs are recognized correctly. All right, if it works, your goods are recorded as shipped to the customer. The cost is recognized. Both the sales order and purchase order are now ready for invoicing, which is what we did. So I guess we've just gone through, we've marked sales order lines for drop shipment. We've created the purchase order with the customer shipping address and linked the sales order and purchase order using the get sales function. But I also then went and did the from the sales order, go action function, go create new PO, and it does the drop shipment now as well, which is super cool. We've received the PO, which is great. That's what we wanted. And so what's our next step? We're going to go into demand planning, and we're going to talk about blanket orders for forecasting future sales. Okay, so keep following us. All right, we're almost there. We're moving through this series pretty quick, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.